Where are we going?
Is this my house? Entry, please.
Entre Bliss. What's up, everybody? This is Batsman, and by popular demand, here is an actual guided tour of my Bats Cave, my man cave, where I go to get away. This is 80 slabs on this wall. That's ranging from all different publishers and keys and whatnot. This is my 70-inch Sony display cases, and on this wall right here, I've added some comics, and now I have 48 slabs on this wall. So quite a few books on the wall, if you will. That's some original art that we'll look at here in a little bit, but let's just get going to the case. So this is my Batman 1989 figures, original cards and everything. Superpowers lunchbox. This is original Superpowers figure, still on the card and everything. A Funko, action figure, and this card right here is really cool. That's a 1940s Superman card that's been graded. Not a really high grade, but cool nonetheless. This is Justice League number 1 from the New 52. This is really where I got back into comics again, and you can see all the signatures on there, and the New 52 action figures as well that I have displayed in there. Moving down, we have Detective Comics number 27. This thing has a slew of signatures on it. Just a really cool cover, and with that added bonus of having all those signatures. These are some cards that I've got from the 1966 Batman show. Really cool graded cards. This is the extent of my graded cards, though, the three that you've seen so far. I just thought that was really cool, and you don't see a whole lot of them on videos that I watch, so I bought them. And that's a gold rare Batman car. It's not really that rare, but it's a grab bag deal. This is Adam West and Burt Ward's signature on Batman 66 number 1 that I got. And these are some Legos that I bought and put together. Used to love Legos as a kid. Loved them. So I put them together. And that's from Batman v Superman. I recreated that scene, if you will. My true first love, Superpowers, okay? That's an original Batmobile with Robin, Batman, and that was a carded Green Lantern. That's an original Batman Nintendo game. Everything's in there. And Kotobukiya figures and Batman the Animated Series figure on the card. Batman v Superman love right there with the Kotobukiya statue. And then the iconic Jim Lee covers in the background. I thought those offset each other very well, so I'm glad I sort of framed them up like that. Just polar opposites on there. Here is a Bob Kane sticker. This is like to promote either Batman or Batman Returns. He signed a bunch of these stickers. You can see the signature right there. There's a picture of him and Batman as well, Michael Keaton. There is a small card, Superpowers from Canada, and there is my original Flash. He's very tired, he got arthritis in the knees. Just a TV Flash. Hey, there's my Captain America shield. Really like that shield, displayed it. The story on this, let me get to the story on this figure. So I'll keep names out of this, but this figure right here, I was probably in first, maybe second grade whenever that movie come out and this figure was popular. I went to school, saw a kid who had the figure, and I really liked the figure. So he said, hey man, I'll trade you a bunch of the figures that you have for this figure. So I said, okay, I'll do that. So I traded him my figures that I had for this one figure. My, how I love this figure. I was a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and I just love this figure. Well, shortly thereafter, I ended up taking the toy to school, and I was playing with it at school. And this same, makes me mad just to think about it. The same young man goes to the teacher and says, "Hey, this kid, Batsman, stole my Commando figure."
Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
So the teacher says, "Well, you boys shouldn't be trading toys up here. Y'all shouldn't be doing anything like that. So, Batsman, you give him the toy back right now, and then you, little Johnny A-hole, you bring him the toys that he traded for you. You bring those back to school tomorrow and give them to him." So he got his toy back that he traded me, and I never got my toys back. So I wasn't going to let him win in life. So about 8 to 10 years ago, I went back and bought the figure, put it in that frame, and it's one of my cherished and prized possessions, and I'm so happy to have it back. That's my Secret Wars lunchbox. I really like the Secret Wars toys as a child as well. These are a couple of statues. They're $50 in price, and they look really cool, but this is Foom number 2. It's signed by Steranko, 7.0 grade, and it's sort of where Wolverine, was allegedly dreamt up. This is Fantastic Four, baby! And this is the first appearance of the Silver Surfer. This is some Marvel superheroes and Marvel Secret Wars Captain America figures. Those actual 2 figures out of the package are my original figures, so glad to have those. Oh man, this is the first G.I. Joe I can ever remember having, and I bought it on the card several years back. And then Leonardo, he was my favorite Ninja Turtle, and just some other figures and stuff that I picked up whenever I was younger and whatnot. Some more of those action figures still on the card. A rarer Tales of Suspense 39 Pop. This right here is another Secret Wars. It's an Iron Man figure, and the very first appearance of that armor in a comic book, so glad to have that. This right here is a cool Marvel Legends helmet, love it. So this is a Bowen design statue commemorating the Tales of Suspense 39, his first appearance. And there is my copy of Tales of Suspense 39, the first appearance of Iron Man. These are also some Marvel Legends figures. Alright, so let's take a look at my 80 slab comic wall. I really enjoy putting all this together, mapping everything out, and getting it done. There is a method somewhat to my madness on this wall, and we'll take a closer look here in a second and just to see what that madness is, but a lot of keys, and a lot of keys to me, so let's look. I reserve pretty much my top row for my Golden Age stuff. There's a Crippen copy of that exciting comics. First appearance of Scarecrow, Joe Simon signed Adventure Comics, Fantastic Four 1, 3, first appearance of the Inhumans of Joe Sennett, signed Fantastic Four. Just a bunch of really cool Fantastic Four books. First appearance of Galactus, first full appearance, I should say. But moving on down the row, classic X-Men cover. That's the only X-Men book I think I have on the wall. I have a giant size X-Men that you'll see here in a minute, but the only X-Men book I have. First appearance of Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Punisher, all those pretty much superheroes, Wolverine, Daredevil, Blade. Really liked the Blade movie back in the day. Secret Wars number 8, 300, 252. That 252 is a low grade because it had water damage. Man, just a lot of key first appearances of Spider-Man there. Y'all know I've tried numerous times to get Amazing Fantasy 15, but I've been unsuccessful. Let's look at these Superman books. This Action Comics right here, I met Neil Adams a couple times. I had him sign that book, the book on the right where he's busting the chains. That John Romita book, though, sort of a hard book to find, and it's his first work on Superman, and he signed it, so that's pretty cool. Superman Unchained, man. I had the chance to buy that original cover, and I didn't know anything about original art at that time, and so I didn't know what I was doing, and I should have bought that dang cover, but oh well. First, what everybody considers the first appearance of Darkseid, signed by Neil Adams. That's another one I had signed by him. Rare special edition U.S. Navy Superman, and then one of my gems, that Action Comics. So these are some more Golden Age books up here on the top row. Now they're not all Golden Age books. Some of these are going to get replaced eventually with more Golden Age books that I got to get graded. But more Fantastic Four and Iron Man as well. Those are some of my faves in the Marvel universe. Let's take a closer look, I believe, at these Iron Man books. I met Bob Layton, had him sign these books for me, and Herb Trimp signed that book right there. Moving down, we got Len Wayne, his signature on Wolverine #1, classic Silver Surfer Thor books. These books right here, the Iron Man and Caps, I bought these from the same seller, and I made a deal. I think they were $100 a piece for me. First appearance of the Mandarin. Now this tells us suspense right here. I found this book buried in a case at an antique shop. Took it to a Comic-Con, met Stan, and had him sign that book for me. So really cool. So moving down a row, just some cool Green Lantern, Justice League of America books that I have. Another Neil Adams signed book. Really like Neil Adams' art. He's a trip, to say the least, but he has good art. Now this New Gods #1. This is one of the prizes of my possession. Look at that. Signed by Jack Kirby. And this is the actual signed book right here. Most of those old Legends, man, they didn't sign on the cover. They didn't want to mess up their artwork. So I like that, but I also like to see that signature. Here's a Punisher, Mike Zeck, and it's also sketched. Beatty signed it as well. Hello, ladies! This bottom row right here is pretty much where I have all my ladies comic books at, if you will. Sort of the cool covers and cool first appearances and whatnot of women in comic books. So I'm glad to have that bottom row, man. And not because I think they're at the bottom. It's just where I set eye level, so I get to look at all my ladies. So this is some original art. Now this is not actually the cover for Captain America 321. I can't even imagine how much that would be, but it is an authentic signature. I've also got some Spider-Man original art here, Web Warriors. It's like Spider-Man Noir, and a couple of the other Spider-Mans in here that I forget the names of at the moment. That is a lenticular cover of Aquaman and the Others. That's the pencils for it by Yuri Gurriel. I actually bought it directly from him. So now this next piece of art, I come up with the design for this and imagined it in my head. And my dad is an artist, and he's really good. So I created it, and I asked him if he'd do it for me. He did an outstanding job. How many of y'all have artwork from your dad, and then you have it prominently displayed in your Bats Cave, man? I love this drawing, and I love that he did that for me. Love you, Dad. So this is a Tony Daniel splash page. It's from Teen Titans issue 100. It was a splash towards the back of it, but really cool, vibrant inks on there. Here is a Batman and Batwoman original art as well. That was from Earth of World's End. So this is another page out of Earth 2 World's End issue 19. This is, I believe, page 19 as well. Really cool Mr. Miracle artwork. And here we have the Batwall. Up here on this top row, I have Batman #1. This is really the catalyst for me really getting back into reading comics. This is Batman #1. This is every print of Batman #1. Some of them are signed. The only one I do not have has been that Walmart one that they come out with a couple years ago or whatever. But other than that, that is all of them, baby. That Batman #30 back there, it is a combo pack variant. And it's also sketched by Scott Snyder and from his personal collection. That's what I'm talking about. So we have Batman 404 signed by Frank Miller. Tech 400, first appearance of the Man-Bat. That's my first Golden Age Batman book right there. Some really other cool Neil Adams covers. Some signed books, first appearance of Poison Ivy. Some Golden Age books here. More and more and more Golden Age, baby. Love the Golden Age World War II era books. Famous Catwoman comic. Oh, let's look at this real quick. Now this is my my bat belt and pops that I framed, and the Batarang as well. That come in like a 66 Batman 66 like package, and I framed all that and then mounted it on the wall. Some more World War II era comic books that are, you know, Batman. Everything on this wall is Batman. Batman, 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 and more Batman. Now, what we're looking at here is an actual like Lego store display. This would have been displayed like in your Target, Walmart, whatever it may be. It's a way to show you like the figures that were coming out in these packs. And it hit eBay, and I bought it because they're not really easy to get a hold of. So I bought it, and I like it, and that's all that matters. You can see that copy of Ra's al Ghul over there, or Ra's al Ghul, however the heck you want to pronounce it. Some more Golden Age, Silver Age books right here. Moving down, this is some of my more recent stuff. This is the line I just added. It's a Steranko book, Sienkiewicz, Romita Jr., a cool Chaykin variant, that Matrix variant signed by Buccellato, Jim Lee signature, Snyder, McFarlane, classic cover, signed and sketched Brightest Day 14. It's signed and sketched by David Finch. And then you can see the sketch right there, the head sketch. And then that last book is Batman 357. First appearance of Killer Croc, and I believe it's also the first appearance of Jason Todd as well. So that is my Batman wall. Yeah. So last but not least is a framed set of newspaper clippings from 1968. It starts January 27th and then goes down through the months and stuff like that. Pretty cool. So and I just noticed for the first time, the schmucks that did it for me didn't put it in order. Oh my gosh. It goes January 27th, 17th, 10th, 3rd, and 24th. I had to stop and gather myself for a second. Thanks to Alex the Comic Hoarder on this. I believe he's the first one I ever saw buying the newspaper clippings and the comics from that, and like seeing if they'd be collectible. So since then I bought like Superman, Batman, and some other stuff. So really cool, really cool. Thank y'all very, very, very much for watching. It's been an honor and a privilege again to walk you through the Bats Cave. This is, you know, purely just a love for this art and journey and whatever other fancy word that you want to use. It's just been a really, really, really cool thing in my life to be able to put all this together, walk in here as I'm spinning right now doing this voiceover, just basking in the glory of what I have created with hard work and sweat and a lot of money. So I want to thank you to Money for putting this all together. Thank you to my parents who, as a young boy, you let me watch Batman 1989. You let me play with the superpowers and Secret Wars toys. You let me buy comic books as a young man, and I just keep coming back to it, okay? I'll get in there, buy a bunch of stuff, and then step away and say, I can't do this no more, I can't do it no more. But then I'll jump back in, and I'll be like, I can buy more, I can keep going. So, thank you, love you, good night.